back to session 4 of our lessons on the introduction of the mobile school report card. In this section, we're going to only focus our attention on how to set up our weekly details and submit our weekly data on the mobile school report card. It is expected that at the end of this section, you, our participants, should be able to identify the features on the school report card weekly details and set the week up. Then after that, submit weekly reports via the mobile school report card application. So let's delve into it. Now, once you launch your mobile school report card application and you reach here as you have this as your main menu, then you move on straight to click on school report card. So under school report card menu, we have weekly report because you are going to submit your weekly report. Then under the weekly reports, you are going to provide data on student enrollment, student attendance, teacher attendance, and then teacher output of work or performance. But before you do that, you need to set the week details, the week under reporting. So you click on set week details. Then after clicking on set weekly details, you have these variables over here to set your form. So we have the level, academic year, semester. What are the meanings of these features? You need to understand them before you can provide or select the appropriate option to set a valid week under reporting. So quickly, let's move on to the features on the school report card weekly details. So we saw that one of the variables is level. So this refers to the level under reporting, and there are 3 levels: KG, primary, and JHS. Data submission is done for each level. The user is required to select a level for weekly setup. Good. So if your school is has only KG and primary levels, you begin with KG. You set the week for KG. The forms for enrollment and attendance for your pupils and teacher attendance and performance will be open to you for you to provide the data and submit. However, if your school is basic and has all the 3 levels, then you start with KG. After that, you set the week for primary. You fill and provide all the entries for the forms for the enrollment, the attendance for both teachers and the pupils. Then after that, you proceed to add that of the teachers and students at the JHS level. If your school is only junior high school, then you begin by setting the week for only the JHS. You provide, once you set the week, the forms for data submission for enrollment and attendance for the pupils and that of the teachers and their performance will be opened for you to provide the requisite entries. Remember that data submission is done for each level. The user is required to select a level for weekly setup. When you are done, you provide the appropriate level, then you continue with the academic year, and this refers to the academic year under reporting. If you are reporting in the academic year 2022-2023, then you select. And in this case, the user is required to select the appropriate academic year for each level. Academic semester is required to select, the user is required to select the appropriate academic semester if and only if the school is running a semester system. There are 2 terms for each levels. Besides, choose 0 to indicate that the school is not running a semester system. Semester week number, if the school is running a semester system, then remember that the user is expected to select the appropriate semester week number. Then besides, choose 0 to indicate that the school is not running a semester system. If the school is running a semester system, then remember to provide or choose the option for school session days, and this refers to the number of days the school was in session. For the semester school, the user is required to select the appropriate school session days for the semester, if and only if the school is running a semester system for each of the levels. Besides, choose 0 to indicate that the school is not running a semester system. Academic term, the user is required to select the appropriate academic term if and only if the school is running 3 terms semester, 3 terms for each of the levels. Besides, choose 0 to indicate that the school is not 3 terms system. Terms week number, this refers to week under reporting within the term. The user is required to select the appropriate terms week number if and only if the school is running 3 term system for each of the levels. Besides, choose 0 to indicate that the school is not running 3 term system. Another feature is school session days for the term. This refers to the number of days the school was in session within the week under reporting. The user is required to select the appropriate school session days for the term if and only if the school is running 3 term system for each of the levels. Besides, choose 0 to indicate that the school is not running 3 term system. Good. Now, once you are familiar with these features, you need to have a template that looks like this. A template that will look like this. So you can see that now if you have this template, as a head teacher or administrator, you fill this template before you launch your application, that's the mobile school report card. Then based on the information here, you record them on the app. If you don't have this backup and something happens, you'll be in trouble. So you must have this backup, or which is a hard copy in your school, to support data submission on the app. So basically, if you look at this template, once you have it, it will help you to provide information on your form. So this how once you set the details, the forms will be open for you to fill. Student enrollment and then attendance similarly will also be opened for you. So quickly, let's move on to the app and see how best we can set our week. So as I said, in this school, it is a basic school, so we begin with the KG, right? So this is the main menu. You click on school report card, weekly report, because we have recording for the week. You set the week details. You select the level KG, the academic year we are reporting 2023-2024. Academic semester. So an academic semester, this school is not running a semester program. So year becomes 0, year 2 remains 0. School session days for the semester is 0. However, in the academic term, the school is running 3 terms. So, and we are reporting for term 1. And then the terms week number 2 is 2. We are reporting for week 2. For week 2, the number of days for the term for that week in which school will be in section, or was in section, was 5. So what this actually means is that in the academic term 1, in week 2, the number of days in which school was in session was 5 days. Okay, so when that is done, you click on set week details, and it said week details set successfully. Once that is done, you see that the forms for student enrollment is open. Look at here. These are the details. You need to work them closely. Under the term is term 1, so it's correct. Week 2, and the grades are here. So semester, since that we are not running a semester program, in the week and the semester 2 is 0, 0. The year, you need to work them close, and the number of days are also important over here. Then you continue. Under KG1, you see that we have stream over here, number of boys and number of girls also over here. So how many streams does your school have for KG1? If your KG1 is 1, then you indicate another stream 1. However, in some schools, they may have KG1A, KG1B, and KG1C, and what have you. If you have KG1 and KG1A and KG1B, then the number of streams under KG1 becomes what? 2. Okay. However, in this school, you have only a single stream, 1 stream for KG. So here it becomes 1. The number of boys is 20. The number of girls too is 15. Right. Then the KG2, we have only 1 stream, so the boys is 15. The number of girls who have been enrolled in that class is 20. Good. Now remember, special need enrollment applies to only schools who are categorized as special schools. So if your school is not a special school, it means that all these places might be 0. Do not leave them blank, because if you leave them blank, it will ask you to provide the correct entries. So once that is done, you click on submit. That's the green button below screen over here. So you click on it to submit. And this is the summary of all your entries. If you check and everything is okay, you click on confirm. Then it will load. So student enrollment created successfully. Okay. Good. You see, once that is done, it sends you to student attendance for you to continue for the KG, because we are working on reporting for week 2 for the level KG, the academic year, and the streams remain unchanged over the number of boys. Student attendance is different from student enrollment, so let's understand that. So under the number of student attendance becomes the number of days in which, or the number of days in which the boys in your class were present for the week. So you add for day 1. Remember, we are having for this week as 5 days. So you add the number of times the boys were present for day 1. All the boys, you add them for day 1. Then for day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. So if you have 20 boys in your class, remember that you check and find out the number of days in which the boys were present in the school for the week, for each day, for the 5 days. You add all of them. So let's assume that in this school, there were about 50 attendants, and the girls too were 45. Good. Then in KG2, there are 45, and then we have girls, which is 50. Now remember, the school is not a special school, so here should be 0 throughout. Okay, once that is done, you click on submit at the button, green button below. It's asking you to verify the summary. If there are any inaccuracies, you click cancel. But once you are sure that information submitted is correct, you click on confirm, then it will load. So there's a student attendance created successfully. So you are good to go. Click on OK. Then once that is done, it sends you to teacher attendance and performance 4. Right here, you can clearly see that it is reporting. It means that you are reporting for teachers' attendance and performance for term 1 and for week 2 in the academic year 2023-2024, and the number of days in which the school was session was 5. So if you know you have the teachers over there now, because we don't have any teacher over here, that is why here it remains blank. So it means that you need to register your teachers first before you start providing records or reporting on your weekly reports, working on your weekly reports. So let's continue. So if you have all your teachers registered and you have allocated a teacher to that particular grade, let's say KG, then under the name of the teacher, you select that particular teacher who handles that class. And in this school, it is Adam Samuel, so you select Adam Samuel. Then within the week, how many days was that teacher present? But before we continue, you need to understand these variables. So quickly, under teacher attendance and output of work form, so you may also have a template that looks like this. Okay, template that looks like this. Okay. So that if you have all these for each of your teachers, right, then it will help in making sure that you have a backup, a hard copy in your school before you transmit this information here onto the mobile app, right? So this is a teacher, Kofi Mensah, and that teacher, the name of the teacher, staff ID, phone number, and class. Okay, good. So here we have the number of weeks here, the first column over here. That's week 1 up to week 15 over here. Then in the second column determines the number of days in which the school was in session. So here, week 1, 4 days. That means the number of days the school was in session was 4 days. In week 2, 5 days. In week 3, 5 days. Goes on and on and on. Okay. Then present. So in week 1, how many days was Kofi Mensah present in school? Then you indicate here. So here it implies that in week 1, out of the 4 days, Kofi Mensah was not in school in any of the days. Then punctuality. Here too, indicate number of days teacher was present and punctual. That means before 8 o'clock a.m. Ideally, teachers, just like other public service personnel, we are supposed to be at school by 8 o'clock a.m. So if the teacher was in school before 8 o'clock a.m., then means the teacher was punctual. On the other hand, if it is beyond 8 o'clock, then it means that that teacher was not punctual, right? So under the punctuality, you indicate out of the 4 days in which the teacher was present, how many of the days was the teacher present in school before 8 o'clock a.m. and evidence in the time book. So here it implies that Kofi Mensah, out of the 4 days, 2 of the days he was in school before 8 o'clock a.m. That's why I have 2 over here. Then the next variable, absent without permission. So in week 2, you can clearly see that the number of days that Kofi Mensah was present in school was 4. But out of though he should have been in school for 5 days, so it means that the one here simply means that the number of the days that the teacher was absent without, that means he didn't seek permission before he absented himself from school. So that means 1. Then here, absent with permission. Here indicate the number of days teacher was absent with permission. So if Kofi Mensah was absent in school, just like here, we have 1 here over here. Out of the number of days Kofi Mensah was not in school, how many days did he seek permission and it was approved? Then you indicate over here. Lesson plan. Let's move on to the lesson plan over here. Now, under the lesson plan, you have the options such as good, fair, poor, not prepared, and non-available to rate the lesson note submission for vetting to the head of the school. So if all the lesson plans for all the subjects were submitted on Monday for vetting, then as administrator, you rate the performance of the submission of the lesson plan as good. If all the lesson plans for all the subjects were submitted on Tuesday, then you rate the performance as fair. If all the lesson plans for all the subjects were submitted from Wednesday to Friday, any of the days from Wednesday to Friday, then it becomes poor. If all the lesson plans for all subjects were not submitted for the week, then you submit not prepared. Then what if the teacher was not available in the school, maybe on sick leave or casual leave, or have been assigned to perform a task somewhere for the whole week? Then under here, it becomes what? Non-applicable. So you select under lesson class, non-available. Okay. When you are done, the next variable is number of exercises given. So once you have these templates by Friday, before you input the information, this data on the mobile school report card, what you have to do is that you must have all these entries filled on your template. So you ask the teachers to submit their exercise books, and then copy from English, mathematics, science, and all the subjects under he or she is teaching in the grades at the level. So if the teacher under English was able to give 3 exercises for the week, you count and you provide it here. Maths 4, science 2, OWOP 3, history 1, RME 1, creative art, Ghanaian language 1, then computing 1. So when you add all of them, it must give us what? 18. So under the number of exercises given, this is what you are going to fill as against the teacher's performance, the number of exercises given, that is 18. Then under the number of exercises marked, here too, out of the number of exercises marked given for English, which is 3, was the teacher able to mark all of them? If so, how many? Then 3. Okay, here 2 is 3. Then it means that under mathematics over here, the teacher was able to, within the week, give 4 exercises, but was able to mark for only 3. So you provide, after that, you add all the entries for the subject, and that gives us the total, which is 16. So you add 3 to 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, then gives us 16. So under the number of exercise marked for that particular teacher for the week will be what? 16. So we have number of exercise given 18 and the number of exercise marked 16. So you go back to the app and then you provide the information accordingly. So let's go back to the app. Then here, number of days. Remember, number of days school or session was 5. So you cannot, if assuming here is 4, there's no way you can say that the number of days the teacher was present was 5. It will not allow you to do so. So here, let's say the teacher was present 3 out of the 5 days. Out of the 3, the teacher was punctual for all of them. That's the 3 days. As we know, the 3 days that particular teacher, that's Adam Samuel, was in school before 8 o'clock a.m. Then absent with permission. Here you can clearly see that the number of days school or session was 5, but the teacher was present with 3. So if the teachers ask permission in all the 2 days, then you select 2. Remember, as a head teacher, you can give permission for teachers to be absent from school with permission for only 2 days. If it's more than 2 days, the teacher is requesting for permission to absent him or herself from school, and it will be more than 2 days. It means that you have to write a letter to the director. Then you, the head teacher, you put memo on it, then you send to the director for approval before the teacher will be granted that permission. Then absent with permission here, without permission, it means here the teacher asks permission, so there's no need to. So here becomes 0. Then so under here, absent without permission becomes 0. Then you move on to lesson plan. Under lesson plan, clearly here, assuming that that particular teacher is teacher in administration, then you select this dash over here. Right. Apart from that, what was the submission performance of that particular teacher, which I've just explained here? It was good because he submitted the lesson plan on Monday for all the subjects, exercise given. So as I said over here, as I explained, yeah, the number of exercise given 18, the number of exercise marked was 16. So you go back to the application. So here number of exercise given was 18. You can scroll down. Sorry, I scroll down, select 18. Then under exercises marked, that will become as stated 16. So in all this, if you don't have the template to record as a hard copy for backup, and something happens, you see that you find yourself wanting. So please make sure that you have a template as I've shown you. Then the comment. So here you, the administrator of the school, it does appear that the teacher, it may happen that the exercise given exercise mark are not encouraging, or therefore you needed were not encouraged as a result of an activity that went on in the school. So you need to comment on it. So you indicate maybe there was a sports or games activity, or there was an interruption in the academic activities for within the week. Let's say you celebrated a national program, a holiday, or a health day, egg day, national man's day, or a program that in a way disrupted the academic activities. Okay, so you need to state it over here. Maybe there was a holiday, so you indicated that there was an independent holiday to substantiate why the performance was not encouraging, or and what have you. Or maybe the teacher was indisposed and was given as a 2 days off. Or it may happen that some of our lady teachers, they are breastfeeding, they are in the 1 year probational period in which they close early and then also come to school, arrive in school before or after 8 o'clock a.m., 1 hour after 8 o'clock a.m. Then it means that they are also breastfeeding, so they are babies. So you indicate under the comment over here. Then you have, after that, you click on submit. So once that is done, you check the summary. If everything is okay, then you click on confirm. If you have anything to do before confirmation, then so teacher was indisposed and was given 2 days off to seek medical care. So you indicate the comment there, right? Then you click submit, then you click on confirm over here. So teacher attendance rated successfully. Good. Now, when that is done, let's add another teacher probably at the primary and see how data can be submitted. But once you have not set for that particular grade, there's no way you can continue or you can provide data on student enrollment or student attendance or teacher attendance for that particular teacher or teachers at the primary level. So you quickly get back to set week details again. Then at this time, you select primary. Then academic year will remain over here. The number of days, check everything is intact. Then click on set week details. So we are finished with KG. We are moving on to primary, right? So the school is running. It's a single stream for the primary level. So it means all the stream would have to be 1. And so you indicate appropriately. Right. So the number of boys for student enrollment form, under student enrollment form, for primary, boys enrollment is 50, girls say 35. Okay. So you continue, you make sure you fill all the entries. Okay, so when you are done by filling all the entries, and you are sure everything is correct, you click on what? Submit. Then the summary will open to you. You click on what? Confirm. Click on confirm. Student enrollment created successfully. So once it's done, it sends you to student attendance form. So just as you provided information, just as I said, you must have a template for attendance and enrollment, as I showed to you earlier on, before you launch your application to fast track data submission. So under boys, so once you are done with submission input, once you are done with the input, then you click on submit and click on confirm. You can scroll up and down to check whether everything is intact and click on confirm. Student attendance created successfully. Right. So we send you the teacher teacher attendance and output of work 4. So you continue, select the teachers who are in the primary, let's say basic 1. Then when we are done, you move on to basic 2, basic 3, basic 4, up to basic 6. So here to submit the present, teacher was present throughout. So here the punctuality 4, because out of the 5 days, the number of days which he was punctual was only 4 days, and absent with permission. Okay, here can clearly see that the teacher was present out of 5 days, so absent with permission will be 0, absent without permission to be 0. Lesson plan, that teacher was not available in the school. Then you select non-availability. If you did not prepare a lesson plan, to select what not prepared, so not prepared. Number of exercises given after checking 9. Number of exercises marked, you didn't mark any of them. So if there's any reason to prove that to justify the poor performance or good performance, whatever, then you put it under the comment section. When you are done, you click on what? Submit. So then you click on confirm. Teacher attendance created successful. So we have done with 2 teachers. So let's do for the last teacher who is in junior high school level. So we click on what? Set week details, because we are finished with the primary. When we are done with all the primary teachers, we come back to set the week for the JHS. Then academic year 2023, everything is intact for that week, week 2. Then on the same day, you continue. So you see, when we were selecting, we were filling the form for registration for our teachers, that particular teacher, the class allocated, the grade, the level allocated was JHS. So that is why as soon as we selected him, we have basic 7 and basic 8 and basic 9 over here. And it is also because after setting the week report details, we selected what week. So let us understand this dynamics. If you select JHS and you set the JHS grade for the week, then you have the grades for the JHS over here. So let's continue. Assuming that in the junior high school, we have basic 7A and 7B. What do we put the stream, and then a record for the stream and the enrollment and the girls, and also for the attendance. So quickly, let's have a template that will guide us to see how best we can do good input. Good. So let's take this as an example. So you clearly see that in this particular school, we have 87A and B. Okay, so that makes the number of streams to be what? 2. Then under boys, you add the enrollment for BC7A to that of BC7B. So here 10 plus 15 becomes what? 25. Then the girls to BC7A class, we have 10 girls and then 15 boys. So in all, and 5 boys. And that becomes, in BC7A, girls were 10, BC7B to the girls were 5. So that makes it what? 15, right? And then basic 8A, similarly, A, the number of streams is 2 because we have basic 8A and basic 8B 2. Then here, under the boys, in basic 8A class, we have 20 boys, and basic 8B class, we have 25, making 45. Then basic 8A class, girls were 15, and boys, in basic 8B, the girls were 25, so making 40. It applies to basic 9 similarly. So when you have done this, and you have your template as I shown, then you quickly have to make sure that you input the correct streams over here, right? So here becomes 2, here becomes 2, here becomes what? 2. The number of boys for A and B is 45. The number of girls and the enrollment who have been enrolled in A7A and B is 35. Then basic 8 to we have 55, and girls to we have 45. Then basic 9 we have 40 for A and B, and then here too we have 45. Right. Once that is done, under the special need enrollment, because the school is not a special school, all these entries must be 0 throughout. When you are done, you click on submit. Click on the submit button, green button. Then you can scroll up and down to confirm, and then after I click on confirm, wait just a second to see student enrollment created successfully. Click on OK. It sends you to student attendance form. So you, the same manner, you fill the appropriate, with the appropriate values. So When you are done with the attendance, then you click on submit. You can also scroll up and down to verify if the information you are provided is okay. Then you click on confirm. Student attendance created successfully. Okay. Then once you are completed with the people's attendance enrollment, send you to teacher attendance and performance. So under teacher attendance and performance, you select the teacher. Good. Then here too, similarly, you check the number of days the teacher was present. So this teacher was present 4 days. In all the 4 days, she was punctual 2 times. Then absent with permission 2, 1. So when you add the absent with permission and absent without permission, you must make sure that everything tallies well. So absent without permission 1, lesson plan, they submitted the lesson plan, and then the number of exercises given. You may have the template as shown to you over here. I showed you the templates that look like recording your the performance chart for lesson note submission, something of this sort. You have them available. It will guide in the correct entries submission. So if there's a comment, you follow. If there's no comment, you click on submit. It will ask you to confirm. So you confirm. Good. Teacher attendance created successful. So we are done with that. They send you to school report card menu. Now once you are done, you can also verify to see whether the data you submitted have been successful and also get feedback as well. So for you to verify, you click on that 3 buttons at the top right corner over here. Then at the top right corner over there, we have summary analytics. So you click on summary analytics. Good. So you are going to view your submissions. You select the academic year. That is why you need to be meticulous in checking the academic year and the reporting. Academic term, week 1, want to find out the submission you have done. Term week number, so week 2. Then academic semester, because we are not running academic semester, we must make sure that here is 0. So then under the semester week number 2, here has to be 0 because we are not running semester. Then category here, you indicate whether you want to view enrollment, attendance, or teacher attendance. So you can check enrollment and also check teacher attendance. Let's check summary for teacher attendance, submission for teacher attendance. So click on view submissions. Good. So it will indicate who submitted the data, and then all the teachers and their information. So once you have it, you can screenshot and submit it to your teachers on their WhatsApp platform for them to know their performance as well. So these are some of the ways by which you can verify whatever data you submitted. You can also check for student enrollment for that particular week. You go to select enrollment, view submissions, then wait for just a few seconds. Must make sure that you have data, internet access. If you don't have internet access, it will be very difficult for you to retrieve this information. You can't. So the information I submitted for the schools are all here. And so at any point in time, you can retrieve this information and use it in making decisions or taking decisions at the school level, at the cluster level. Goodbye and have a nice day.